Hello and welcome back to another video. Today's video we're going to be talking about gold, how to make unlimited gold and how to make it very quickly in Farthest Frontier. Now gold is used for many different things, of course one being able to trade, buy and sell certain items, and the other to be able to upgrade certain items. To upgrade stuff you're going to need gold. To build a bigger population and a bigger city you're going to need gold. So without further ado, let's get started. So first things first, the very start of the game, the only way you're going to be able to make gold is by placing a market down and having houses in that radius for that particular market. Multiple markets will do multiple houses as long as they're in the same radius. Now, early game marketplaces will only give you 1 gold per house for a tier 1 house. So every one tier 1 house you've got in the radius is 1 gold. This one here, as you can see, I'm getting 54 monthly gold, but that is because they're tier 3. Some of them are borderline tier 4. But they're tier 3 houses, some of them are tier 2, so you get more gold for the higher tier, of course, as long as you meet the requirements. I'm not going to go diving into the requirements in depth. If you guys want that information, then please let me know. I'll do that in a different video. But like I say, the tier 2 houses give you more gold, then tier 3 give you even more, tier 4 of course give you even more than that. Another thing to note is that not only am I getting gold because of the upgraded housing, I've also got something called luxury taxes, large house taxes and homestead taxes. So as you can see in the top right of my screen now, those are the different things that I'm actually acquiring gold for. I've got taxes for the market square, which is generally everything put together. Then you've got a separate tax, which is luxury tax. Now that also gives you gold. Luxury items can be glassware, it can be candles, pottery, soap, stuff like that. Just luxury items. The more luxury items, even furniture, the more of them you have, the more your increased luxury tax income will be. So that is number 1. That is the very first way you can make gold in Farthest Frontier. As soon as you've got a market down, place some houses in it, you're already starting to make gold. Now moving on swiftly to number 2. This is the second and probably my favourite way of making gold in the game. Once you've established a good sort of settlement and you've got enough people and you've got a nice housing layout set up and you're getting gold from the market, I also like to have at least 1, but preferably 2 production items that I'm going to mass produce to sell in the trading center. So that can be a range of different things depending on the map you're on. If you're on a map where you've got loads and loads of clay, you can mass produce or acquire clay, loads and loads of it, have loads and loads of workers on it, and then you can sell clay like a raw resource if you like. In terms of iron, clay, stone, anything like that, any raw resources are good to start with. For me personally, I like to, especially early game, whack down a sawmill, have all my workers on it. I like to whack down at least 1, but 2 if is preferable, and then mass produce wooden planks. Wooden planks sell quite well. They do sell quite well. Once they're easy, very easy to produce. All you need is wood. So the wood gets chopped down. This is the setup that I have. So this is how I like to produce my wooden planks. I have a forester camp next to all the sawmills. They're cutting down all the trees or to acquire wood. They store it in the storage, the large stockyard, which I have just wood. Pretty much. Again, another one which I have for other production buildings, but I like to keep it all very close so the production level is very high. They cut the wood here, they store it in there, then these people who are working in here go collect the wood, bring it back, turn it into planks. So it's all very efficient, and I like to have that relatively close to my trading center where I'm going to sell it, because if this is miles away from this, then they're going to take ages to run all the gear back and forwards and you're never going to be able to sell them. But of course you can transfer up to 500 at a time, so it's not too hard to get that stocked up before the traders come and buy the goods. Now, another thing to bear in mind, I always like to have 2 people working in the trading centre, otherwise it's only 1 person, again reducing the actual productivity of transferring goods to be able to sell. One more tip I would like to say before we move on to the next item is whatever item you decide to produce to then sell in the trading centre, you have to work out which one comes frequently, which traders are buying what items frequently, because there's no point, for example, there's no point me making heavy tools. Let's see, there's no point me making loads and loads of heavy tools which take ages to make, a lot of materials required, and then every 15 years the person in the trading centre comes and buys free. It's not going to make any sense whatsoever. So have an item. I like wooden planks. I also like to sell pottery, also candles and glassware. That is my sort of main things I go for. If I'm mass producing wood, like logs, I'll whack 500 of them in the trading centre. That's quite easy gold to make, especially if you've got a forester camp, because it's basically unlimited wood. That is also something I like to do. But make sure that the people that are coming to buy items are buying your chosen material. They're buying it frequently, because if they're not, it's going to make no sense in producing it to sell. You need an incoming gold source, and you need it often. There's no point every 10 years you selling 2 items and then getting 600 gold. You might as well have every other year sell 500 of these for a couple of thousand gold each. Much more beneficial. As you can see, I've got just under 7,000 gold and an incoming gold every month of 96. So the method that I do use works very, very well for me. So that is number 2 anyway. Moving on to number 3. I like to also not only sell items in here, which are obviously going to acquire me gold, but I also like to, well, it depends on what year and it depends on certain circumstances. But in the actual trading centre, sometimes you'll have 2 trading people, I don't know what they're called, 2 trading people, that's what they're going to be called now, that are buying and selling items that one wants and the other one is selling. That probably made no sense whatsoever, so let me explain. So one person is going to be, for example, selling beer. The other one is going to be buying beer. But sometimes, if you look carefully, I'd recommend pausing the game, because then obviously the time isn't running out and you're not going to waste time while you're watching the whole thing and working out who's selling, who's buying what. But if one is selling beer for 5 gold and the other one is buying beer for 10 gold, if as long as you've got some gold in the trading post, so I always keep a little bit in the trading post, as long as you've got gold here, I'd recommend buying all of his beer for 5 gold and selling all that beer to the other trader for 10 gold. So you're making all the money back that you paid for the beer, plus all the money that you're getting from somebody else, from the other guy. So look, another thing, guys, as well, by the way, there's a lot of this game is looking very colourful. I've noticed quite a lot of plants down here, and I've also noticed them in the field area, like down, where has it gone? Yeah, it was here earlier. Do you know what? I don't know if it's been a new patch or not, but they seem to made it. Oh, here we go. Look, like down here, it's all like colourful and whatnot. But down here earlier, there was all yellows and greens and blues, all sorts of plants and stuff. I don't know if they've patched that and changed it, but I've never noticed that before. Like even over here now, it's very blue and colourful. I don't know if that's just me being stupid or if that was if it's been new added. I'm not too sure. But here we go. There's a trader here, so I can show you what I mean. So I pause the game every time a trader comes, because obviously they're only in here for a certain amount of days. So you want to quickly work out what you're going to want to sell and what you're not going to want to sell. Another thing to bear in mind, for me, I always find if I've got none waiting in the inventory, it's always a good, far above average price. If I had 146 weight in there, that would probably be 11 per item. It's always works out like that. So if I was you, as soon as you see the trading icon pop up, pause the game, quickly jump on here, then transfer those goods into the storage or whatever one you want to sell, and then you can refresh the game. Now they're stocking the trading post, So they're going to be running backwards and forwards, stocking the trading post, and then you can actually sell those items for the higher price as long as it's close. See, done already. Because I think the where is it? I'm not too sure. I think it's here. Yeah, here it is. So all they've got to do is run from here to there. That's it. That short distance. That's all they've got to do. So now he's still got 66 days left, and I've got all of them to sell. That's 1,500 gold. Just like that. Just for doing nothing, basically. I've got loads and loads of iron I could sell him. Loads of clay I could sell him. And then you can use that gold to buy something that you may not have or something that you may need. So that's also another good thing. Now, my last tip number 4. I can't remember what relic it actually is, but there's lots of different relics in the game that are going to help you to either produce gold or to save money on gold. Now, of course, not only do you need gold to buy certain items in the game that you may need, you also need it for the upkeep and monthly cost of buildings. So this one is 12. You've got other stuff which costs more. Obviously, it's a monthly cost of 20, but the recruitment cost is 25 gold, and then it's 5 gold per soldier. So a lot of them things cost a lot of gold. So for me, in my temple, I have the coin purse, which soldiers' upkeep costs reduced by 30%, which is massive, especially for the big cities, the big population cities. That is a huge help. And I've also got the soldiers and guards do 15% more damage, but that's just personally what I like. As soon as you can upgrade this, then you can get a third one, and you can have another one. What is the other ones? Villagers' health, upkeep cost reduced by 30, which is what I got, and then that one. Yeah, that's fine. But I think there's one more, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know how you see the actual list. I don't know if you can see the list of all them all, but I think there's one which helps you produce a certain amount of gold as well, like the houses or the markets give you more gold. I'm not too sure, I'd have to check on that. But that is my last tip on making gold in this game. As soon as you've got all these houses, try and upgrade them, because they again produce you a lot of gold. This market is giving me 66, and this one here is giving me 54, and that's only 2 markets. That is a lot of gold for them markets. That is a hell of a lot. So make sure you meet all the requirements and upgrade them. Sell everything, keep them close to the trade centre so they're not taking ages to transfer goods, and make sure all the production items is close to the storages as well. Other than that, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope it's been helpful. It was a short but sweet video. If you want me to go into anything in detail, then please let me know. But until then, thank you all guys for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.